SKOL Vikings Nation, can you feel the purple pride pulsing through your veins? We're diving into the latest heart-pounding action from our Minnesota Vikings, fresh off a thrilling clash that had us all screaming at our screens. Today, we're breaking down a game that went down to the wire, with our boys in purple pulling off a clutch performance in London at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Picture this. The clock's ticking, the crowd's roaring, and the Vikings are staring down a deficit with just minutes left. This wasn't just any game, it was a battle of wills, a showcase of grit, and a testament to why we bleed purple. What went down in those final moments that had fans jumping out of their seats? Stick around, because this one's gonna leave you hyped. Let's set the stage. Our Vikings faced off against a tough opponent, with both teams trading blows like heavyweight champs. The energy at Tottenham was electric, with Vikings fans bringing that SKOL chant across the pond. Ready for the full scoop? Let's dive into the action and unpack every jaw-dropping moment. All right, Vikings faithful, let's talk about the quarterback who's been lighting it up. Sam Darnold. The man was slinging the ball with precision, leading a critical drive that had us all holding our breath. In the fourth quarter, with the Vikings trailing 17-14, Darnold orchestrated a 10-play, 80-yard masterpiece that chewed up 2:40 off the clock. The drive was a thing of beauty. Short passes to keep the chains moving, mixed with some gutsy runs. Then, with just 25 seconds left, Darnold found none other than Justin Jefferson for a 12-yard touchdown strike that sent the stadium into a frenzy. That score put Minnesota up 21-17, and you could feel the momentum shift like a tidal wave. How clutch is our QB1? Darnold's been proving his doubters wrong all season, and this game was no exception. With 275 passing yards and 2 touchdowns, he showed why he's the leader of this squad. What do you think? Has Darnold locked in as our franchise guy? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Now, let's give a shout out to our superstar, Justin Jefferson. This man is a walking highlight reel, and he showed up big time in London. That game-winning touchdown catch? A thing of beauty. Jefferson high-pointed the ball over 2 defenders, snatching victory from the jaws of defeat. He finished the day with 8 catches for 120 yards, constantly torching the secondary and giving defensive coordinators nightmares. Every time Darnold looked his way, you knew something big was about to happen. Vikings fans, how lucky are we to have J-Jets on our side? But it wasn't just the touchdown. Jefferson's ability to draw double coverage opened up the field for guys like Jordan Addison and TJ Hawkinson. His presence changes the game, and it's no wonder why he's the heart of this offense. Who's your favorite Vikings playmaker? Let's hear it. Let's talk defense, because our Vikings D was bringing the heat. Brian Flores' unit was relentless, forcing 2 fumbles that flipped the game's momentum. Early in the first quarter, linebacker Ivan Pace Jr. absolutely leveled the opposing running back, jarring the ball loose for a recovery by safety Cameron Bynum. That turnover set up a quick scoring drive, putting the Vikings up 7-0 early. Later, in the fourth quarter, defensive end Jonathan Greenid got in on the action, stripping the ball and giving Minnesota prime field position. Our defense didn't just stop drives, they created opportunities. How huge were those turnovers? The stats back it up. The Vikings defense leads the NFL with 12 forced fumbles this season. Flores has these guys playing with an edge, and it's showing up every week. What's the key to our defensive dominance? Share your take below. Hold up. Let's rewind to the opening drive. The Vikings came out swinging, with Aaron Jones bulldozing his way through the defense for a 15-yard gain on the first play. That set the tone for a physical, no-nonsense approach that had the crowd buzzing. By the end of the drive, Jones punched it in from 6 yards out. Jones finished with 95 rushing yards on 18 carries, proving once again why he's the engine of this run game. His vision and burst were on full display, especially on a 25-yard scamper in the third quarter that got us into the red zone. Vikings fans, is Jones the unsung hero of this team? The run game opened up everything else for the offense. With the defense keying on Jones, Darnold had time to pick apart the secondary. How critical is a strong run game to our success? Let's talk about it. Now, let's zoom in on the third quarter where things got dicey. The Vikings were down 17-14, and the opposing offense was moving the ball at will. Their rookie QB was carving up the secondary, connecting on a 9-yard touchdown pass that felt like a gut punch. But our Vikings didn't flinch. On the next drive, Darnold answered with a 17-yard laser to TJ Hawkinson, who hurdled a defender like he was in an Olympic race. That play sparked a drive that ended with a field goal, tying the game at 17-17. Moments like that show the heart of this team. The back and forth kept us on the edge of our seats. Every play felt like it could decide the game. What was your favorite moment from that intense third quarter? Hit the comments and let's relive it. Let's give some love to our special teams, because they came through in a big way. Kicker Will Reichard was money, nailing a 48-yard field goal in the second quarter to keep us within striking distance. That kick was no chip shot, wind swirling in London, pressure on, and he drilled it. Punter Ryan Wright also flipped the field with a 55-yard punt that pinned the opponent inside their own 10. That set up a defensive stand that forced a 3-and-out. Special teams don't always get the headlines, but they were game changers here. Vikings Nation, how clutch is our special teams unit? Reichard's been perfect this season, going 12-for-12 on field goals. Drop a SKOL in the comments if you're loving our kickers. The atmosphere in London was unreal. Vikings fans brought the SKOL chant across the Atlantic, turning Tottenham Hotspur Stadium into US Bank Stadium East. You could hear the roars every time Jefferson made a catch or our defense got a stop. Felt like a home game. The international stage added extra juice to this one. Players were feeding off the energy, and you could see it in their intensity. From the opening kickoff to the final whistle, the crowd was a factor. Were any of you there in London? Share your experience. This game showed the global reach of Vikings Nation. No matter where we play, our fans show up and show out. How proud are you to be part of this fan base? Let's hear it. Let's talk about the unsung heroes, the offensive line. Our big men up front gave Darnold all day to throw, allowing just one sack against a ferocious pass rush. Center Garrett Bradbury was a rock, anchoring the line and opening holes for Aaron Jones. On that game-winning drive, the O-line paved the way for a crucial 8-yard run by Jones that kept the chains moving. Without those guys battling in the trenches, none of the fireworks happen. Vikings fans, who's your favorite lineman? The stats tell the story. Our O-line ranks top 10 in pass protection this season, giving up only 8 sacks in 5 games. That's huge for an offense that loves to air it out. What do you think, unsung heroes or straight-up MVPs? Now, let's get to that fourth quarter drama. The Vikings were trailing 17-14 with under 3 minutes left. The tension was palpable. Every fan was glued to the screen, knowing we needed a miracle. Then, Darnold stepped up, cool as ice, and started picking apart the defense. A 15-yard strike to Addison. A 10-yard scramble to keep the drive alive. Every play felt like a do-or-die moment. When Jefferson hauled in that touchdown with 25 seconds left, the eruption from Vikings Nation could have been heard back in Minnesota. That drive was a masterclass in clutch performance. Darnold went 5-for-6 for 60 yards on that final march. How do you stay calm in a moment like that? Let's talk about those nerves of steel in the comments. The opponent didn't go down without a fight. Their rookie QB led a desperate final drive, trying to steal the game back. With 25 seconds left, they marched to midfield, and it looked like they might pull off a miracle of their own. But our defense stood tall. A huge sack by Danielle Hunter on third down forced a long fourth down attempt, and the pass fell incomplete as time expired. The Vikings held on, and the celebration was on. How intense was that final stand? Hunter's sack was his 7th of the season, tying him for the league lead. Our defense thrives in big moments, and this was proof. What's your favorite defensive play from this game? Drop it below. Let's zoom out and look at the big picture. This win keeps the Vikings at the top of the NFC North with a 4-1 record, tied for the best start in franchise history since 2016. The team's clicking on all cylinders: offense, defense, and special teams. The stats are eye-popping: 350 total yards, 3 touchdowns, and a +2 turnover differential. This wasn't just a win, it was a statement to the rest of the NFL. Are the Vikings legit Super Bowl contenders? Let's debate it. With tough games ahead, this momentum is huge. The confidence from a win like this can carry a team far. What's your prediction for the rest of the season? Hit the comments. A quick shout out to head coach Kevin O'Connell, who's been a wizard this season. His play calling on that final drive was straight out of a movie, balanced, aggressive, and unpredictable. He's got this team believing they can win any game, anywhere. O'Connell's game plan leaned on the run early to set up the pass, and it paid off. His ability to adjust on the fly kept the defense guessing. Vikings fans, how much do you love KOC's leadership? The numbers back him up. The Vikings rank top 5 in points per game, 28.6, under his guidance. He's building something special in Minnesota. What's the ceiling for this team with KOC at the helm? What's next for our Vikings? They're heading back to the U.S. to face the Detroit Lions in a massive NFC North showdown. This rivalry game is always a slugfest, and with both teams vying for the division lead, it's must-watch TV. The Lions are coming off a big win, so our boys need to bring their A-game. Expect Jefferson to see double coverage, which could open things up for Addison or Hawkinson. What's your game plan for beating Detroit? Share it below. Mark your calendars for October 12th at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. US Bank Stadium is going to be rocking, and we need every SKOL chant in full force. Who's ready for this one? Let's get hyped. Vikings Nation. What a ride this game was. From the early turnovers to that clutch touchdown, our boys showed why they're one of the NFL's elite. This is why we live for Sundays, why we wear the purple, and why we never stop believing in this team. Let's keep the energy going. Drop a SKOL in the comments, tell us your favorite moment from the game, and let's talk about where this team is headed. Are we Super Bowl bound? You tell me. If you love this breakdown, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and share this video with every Vikings fan you know. Stay tuned for more Vikings news as we keep you locked in on our purple pride. SKOL Vikings.